Lord be with you.
I've changed my mind. I'll join the guild.
Well then. Good choice, brother.
What needs to be done?
We're not particular about formalities. Let's just have a beer, and then you're one of us.
Here's to the guild.
To the guild! That reminds me, I'd like to throw a feast for the poor. The bigger the better.
Didn't you say you were just ordinary people with no money?
We are. And this is where Sigismund comes in. Because he's going to pay for the feast out of his own pocket.
That was a good one. How are you going to make that happen?
Me? No. You'll make it all happen. Listen carefully. Sigismund seized land down in the valley near Pach and built his personal warehouse on it, right under our noses as a provocation. There he stores fancy foods and gifts for his commanders, and for that red-bearded gob of his. Sausages, smoked meats, foreign spices, and more. Fancy delicacies from Italy, Hungary, Slavonia, and all the other shitholes where he owns land. While we're eating porridge and cabbage all the time. You will steal all the food you can carry from that warehouse. And as a nice token, you will leave there... Let's see... What would you leave there?
That cabbage you said you were eating all the time?
Brilliant! Get at least one head from the greengrocer and leave it there for Sigismund. Let him eat for once what we have in our bowls almost every day. But I'm warning you right now, no violence. Don't even think about slitting anyone's throat in that warehouse. The job isn't to punish some poor sod on guard duty. Is that clear?
Got it. What should I do with the stolen food?
You'll give it to the beggars. Let them feast like kings for once. It's not hard to find poor people in the town. Just go to the gates or churches, and you'll surely come across some. There are also tents full of them in Minor Street, Church Street or Cobbler Street. When you're done, come and see me, and we'll figure out what to do next.
Sigismund will be fucking livid he can't enjoy his fine sausages. Can I expect any help from you?
If you need some tools, stop by Knuckles. That's all I can help you with.
All right. I'll head out.
Good luck.
You're new here, aren't you? Has Chenyek talked the head off you already?
We spoke.
I'll give you some good advice to start with. Don't listen to his bollocks about a fairer society and the honourable struggle for a better tomorrow. It's just bullshit to mess with newcomers like you. By the way, they call me Knuckles.
It sounded pretty convincing to me.
Aye. Chenyek can sweet-talk people like no other. I mean, Chenyek talks about sharing stuff fairly and how we don't do it for the money. But you know what? It's horseshit. It's every man for himself down here, even if they say otherwise. And Chenyek just gives it such a nice polish.
Are you saying he lied to me?
More like, he didn't tell you the whole truth. I heard from friends that Sigismund has a bottle of very fine wine somewhere in his warehouse. The kind of wine that you don't often see in these parts. I have a buyer for it. So if you bring it to me, I'll give you half the coin he's paying for it.
That sounds reasonable. What do you know about the wine?
I knew we'd get along. The wine is in a warehouse somewhere. If you find it and bring it to me, I'll give you a better price for it than any merchant in the town. So think about it. The buyer I got is particularly interested in this bottle.
I'll look for it. Chenyek said you could give me some gear too.
All that talk about equality, brotherhood. But when it comes to lockpicks, I'm supposed to give you stuff from my own stash. Here's something you might find useful.
Thank you.
God, you're all covered in blood.
I brought you some food.
Dear God, I must be dreaming. So much food. is like a royal feast. I'll fill my belly and even have some left over for tomorrow. Who should I thank for these gifts?
For everything, thank the local guild and King Wenceslas.
Is this how the guild takes care of us? Wonderful! May God bless our King Wenceslas.
I did what you asked me to do.
Great! So you robbed the chest and fed the poor?
I robbed the chest and left the cabbage in it.
Ha ha! Great work! He's in for a big surprise, the red-headed fucker. Good work! What about the beggars?
I fed as many people as I could.
You're a hero. Folk will really appreciate that, you know. They've never eaten like this before. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? And that feeling of satisfaction. We may not be any richer, and yet...
You know what? I'm beginning to understand the guild's modesty.
See? And now, let's talk about your next job. Just before I tell you more about it, try talking to Rat. I'm sure there are a few side jobs for a chap like you. And Goliath could teach you how to throw a proper punch. He's the best brawler far and wide.